4-hour time frame, or narrowing it down to my 1-hour time frame for the XY. And then down to EU on a monthly time frame, we can actually obviously see that price is to the downside, forming lower lows and lower highs, right? And then to our weekly time frame, I beg your pardon, we can also see that price is clearly bearish, right? Price retraced to 78.6% level and reacted to the downside. We saw it retracing back into 61.8% level and reacting to the downside, taking out this low and retracing into, let me make that clearer, and retracing all the way into the 61.8% level on the weekly time frame. So from this region, we're expecting some form of a reaction to the downside on our weekly time frame. And for our daily time frame, right, price is also bearish. This buy was just a retracement for it to continue its sell to the downside, right? So on our 4-hour time frame too, we can see that the major structure is to the downside, but then the major structure is the impulsive move to the downside, but then we can see that a minor structure is to the upside, which is a corrective move to the upside, forming higher highs and higher lows, right? And there's no break of structure here to, align with our sell bias. So I will be having my fingers crossed until I see a break of structure to the downside and a retest before I take my sell, right? So I'm just going to fold my arms and wait for price to do whatever it wants to do. Look out for a break of structure and slam myself to the downside on Euro USD. For GU, on a monthly time frame, price is very clear, bearish to the downside. And for our weekly time frame too, price is also bearish, right? And this buy we're seeing is just a retracement for it to keep selling to the downside on our weekly time frame. And for our daily time frame, we actually had the incentive that, okay, price should at least buy into this, retrace into this other block, right? And react to the downside. And where is our point of interest? There's an IOFPD here that has room to, magnetize price to this region and eventually sell further down, taking out this low, right? The first point of interest where I would be interested in taking profit is when I see price trading to this IOFED on the daily time frame, right? And then subsequently selling for that to take out this low on our daily time frame. And for our 4-hour time frame, we can see that the major structure is actually bearish, and then the corrective structure to the upside is bullish, forming higher highs and higher lows, right? For me to see an alignment with my higher time frames, my daily, weekly, and what have you, I'd like to see a break of structure to the downside before I take myself. So I'm just going to have my fingers crossed and look out for price to do whatever it has to do, and look out for my break of structure before taking myself to the downside, right? That'll be the end of my own session for this lab. After this brief break, we will be having Lecom before us. Thank you for having me. Cheers and God bless.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Market Caller, brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team and powered by our preferred broker, Opta. So this morning we'll be moving straight into the analysis of the precious metal. Now, right now we are going to see what exactly has been going on with the precious metal. As you can see on the screen that the precious metal has been strongly bullish for quite some weeks now, all the way to the upside. Particularly if you look at it from the weekly time frame, we are going to see that it's been a very strong bullish trend to the upside. However, like we all know that the lower time frame, they are the one that makes up what we are going to see on the higher time frame. However, the higher time frame controls what happens in the lower time frame. So if you look at the daily time frame for the precious metal, you are going to see where we actually mark that we are expecting the precious metal to sell from, which is this particular shoulder somewhere around this place, since we see the break of this low to the downside. You can see since we see the break of this low to the downside. However, started pushing all the way to the top. Now the question is the precious metal trying to seek a new high again after the one it did last month on the 12th of last month? Is it trying to seek a new high again? And since we are just waiting to see what's really going on there. However, what we should be doing right now is let our lower time frame give us what we are going to see in the market. So we are going to check the 1 hour time frame to know what exactly is going on. On the 1 hour time frame, as we all can see, we've seen our shoulder pattern somewhere around this level here. This is it. You've seen the shoulder pattern there, and we've seen our price, break the level to the downside. So all we are expecting is price should rally more into this zone, and we can look for opportunity to short. Remember, when price get to that particular place, we don't just, pull the trigger. We wait to see our confirmation, particularly on our lower time frame. Now, all we need to do right here is just wait and see what will price do here. And this is more like a 100 pip stop. But let's say, good, 86 pip stop, and that's a little bit wild. But if you want to take trade, just make sure you divide your normal lot size into maybe 2 or 3. Probably you've been using 30 pips SL for your trade. Just divide it into 3 and see what you are going to catch out of this. And we are still going to go into the news for the day. What are we expecting? Is there any news that is going to bring a lot of volatility into the market? And we are going to see that as we move forward. So for the precious metal, this is what we are looking at. But let's trim it down to 15 minutes to see if we have any entry here. Now, like we mark on the 1 hour, you can see the same signature printing out here. However, price may still do some little last push to the upside somewhere around this place, just to come and clear liquidity around this level here. So we may see this happen. And if that happens, then you may want to, when you see your sell structure, break of market structure on your lower time frame, like 5 minutes, when price clears liquidity around this place, then you may want to take a short all the way to the downside. So that is our watch for the precious metal this morning. We are looking to short it when our other value flow models also align, and that is the advantage of having our value flow models. When you have them, they show you when to execute and what to do in the market whenever you are trading. So let's quickly take a look at the Japanese yen basket. Now, looking at the Japanese yen basket, we've seen clearly that the yen basket is very bearish. You see all the way to the downside. However, on Monday, we've been expecting that when price gets to this daily order block here, there should be some sort of reaction all the way to the upside. But price gets there. Yes, we saw some level of reaction sometimes on Wednesday and even into yesterday. However, price is just dancing inside that order block now. But we don't know. Could it be that price is coming to form another lower low, or is going to turn back at this particular point? So that is it for the yen basket. All we just want to see is let's wait and see if we are going to see a clear structure on the yen basket. But prior to that, let's check on 4 hours. What exactly is going on 4 hours for the yen basket? Now, as you can see, there's liquidity below here, which has been grabbed, and we see price move all the way to the upside again. However, it's coming again, probably wants to grab liquidity here, but now it's building more of a double bottom here, which we may see a grab of that liquidity of this one here before it starts moving all the way to the upside again. But if you look at it on the 1 hour time frame, you are going to see that on the 1 hour time frame, we are having something more like a boss pattern here, but is a bit long and kind of tricky bit. If you look at this now, you can see this is more of a low, a very wild low. See how price was just stalking at that particular level, and we see a clear of that liquidity, then a forceful break to the upside. Now price comes back again into that zone. Now if I'm to draw this all the way here, so this is going to be my clear low, which means there is still high tendency for price to come and tap this low again before it starts moving all the way to the upside. So if that is what we are looking at for the yen basket on the 1 hour time frame, can we just take a look at the yen correlated pairs and see what is really going on there? So if we look at GJ at this current time, we can see GJ2 is forming some, just creating new high again. And if we look at it from the daily time frame, we are going to see on the daily time frame that is still trying to push all the way to the upside again and again. And even for GJ, we were expecting, our expectation for GJ was that this particular order block, this daily order block here, when price gets into it, is going to react all the way to the downside. But we've not seen any form of reaction, although we see something like this on Wednesday and even into yesterday too. So you can see the corrected move of what we are seeing on yen basket again on GJ. So that is exactly what is happening here. Now, if we are to trim down to the 1 hour for GJ, this is what we'll be seeing on GJ, meaning it's still very much bullish all the way to the upside. It already cleared this high, and there's no any form of pattern for it to come all the way to the downside currently. And let's take a look at it on the 15-minute time frame. On 15-minute time frame is still very much bullish to the upside. So instead of we just waiting to see if we can see a sell structure for GJ, if we see anywhere that is going to give us a buy entry, then we can easily follow. Now, if we begin to sell and we see a sell structure around this place, we can easily sell all the way to where? Somewhere here. Because at this particular point here, you can see some level of the boss structure here. You can see this is a shoulder here. You can see the shoulder somewhere around this place. And there is a sweep of that shoulder here. Then we are expecting that when price comes all the way back into this zone, we should see some level of reaction here. If the move is not a news kind of move, that will make price to move all the way to the downside, right? So if that is what we're seeing on both GJ and the precious metal, then we just have to be patient and see our entry signature play out in the market before we take any of it. Now let's quickly take a look at some fundamentals and what is really going on in the market. Let's look at the calendar as fast as possible to see, do we have any news today that may influence the market? Now, today is Friday. Seems like the market is a bit quiet today being Friday. We did not have any high impact news. However, all we just have here is see unemployment rate of finance CPI. There's nothing very much in the market today that's going to push the market very much that way. But if that is what is going on with the market, and we just look again, we are going to see any headline, the currency strength right now. Let's see, is there any theme for the market for today? Good. Okay. On the daily, we can see that the leading currency right now seems to be the USD. But let's look at it on the weekly time frame to confirm what's really going on. Oh, on the weekly time frame, we are more on the risk of like all the risk on rather, because all the safe haven assets, they are all behind here. You can see USD, JPY, and CHF all this week are all very weak. And you can see the risk asset, NZD, AUD, even though CAD is in between here, they ought to be in front here, and GBP Euro should be in the middle. But it's looking more like a risk on week this week. So if you check the daily time frame too, you can see more of USD pushing to the front gradually, while we still have the CHF and the JPY below all the way to the back. So all we need to do is just to be calm and see what really moved the market for us. Let's look at Forex Live. Now on Forex Live today, we've not seen anything. Okay, there's nothing much here that we are seeing as regard the precious metal and the yen basket. Okay, Japan inflation likely to have ease further in April pool. What does that mean? All right, so you may want to read the news and see what that really means to you and how you can, apply it to your trading. Now, if there's any question, you can easily type in the chat box and let's quickly take a look at it. Okay, broken to the downs. Oh, thank you very much, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Lekon.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone on the call. Good morning. Pips Don't Lie made an observation about gold.
Okay.
On the 1 hour. And I said, yes, I'm seeing it too. Already been marked, it has already been stated. You can see it there already forming. So hopefully that opportunity to sell, right? You can see it's already been marked out. So yes, you are right in seeing that. For that, we'd also like to see so that will put some selling pressure on gold. All right. For me, I'm expecting profit taking today. There has been a very serious. If you can check dollar index throughout this week, the market just opened and went up. You can see that on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame. That rally, I mean, Euro, USD, all the pairs. Let's use that. Okay, this is not MT4, so we can't see period separators. But the start of the week, which started off on the 13th, if you are looking at it from
yes, I see.
Sunday, the period separators, exactly. So if you see, there was no lower low this week. Up on all the pairs. No pair formed a lower low. I think only one tapped below the weekly open. It was just a clear buy. So I think what we're seeing now is some serious profit taking. I mean, imagine if you were a trader and this week you did 100 pips, 100 is the upside. You may want to take your profits And so we may see price pull back to about 50%, right? So today may be profit taking. In fact, it has already started. If you check Euro USD, you check AUD you check USD CHF, they've all started taking profit. So we may look really a sell, right? That's not necessarily a. So the people that bought Euro USD, when they take profit, that going up, the buyers were pushing it up. When some of those buyers exit the market, they take profit. Now that take profit, can it turn into a. So we just look for our entry criteria. We look for the shoulders to be broken. Shoulders to be broken. We're looking at fair value gaps to be closed. And we're looking at a return to shoulder. All right. So yes, there is a possibility. The only thing that is giving me real cause for concern is the very strong buy, sell, buy, right? Rally base, rally, right? You can see it's a strong buy. Then the sellers came in, then the buyers pushed them back. Those level. But if that place gets broken, right, then we may see price continue its move to the downside. I'm not seeing any clear value, any clear fair value gap on Euro USD. On G, I'm not seeing any of that too. But it looks like there's no clear fair value gap here. None whatsoever. But we have seen gap, and that place should be, draw the other block there where price currently is. There's another block there, which is supposed to hold, right? And then, of course, the breaker block below it, the drop base drop there, exactly. So, gap. If price closes below it convincingly, that means the profit taking is continuing to the downside. And if that happens, of course, we know where it's going. There's a fair value gap all the way below, which should be about 50%. So throughout this week, a 50% correction of the move throughout this week. Because if buyers want to buy, they are going to buy at discount. They are going to buy at discount. Plot your 50% from the 13th self. If you really want to look at it that way, it's from the 13th. There. Because if they are going to buy, they should be, nobody's going to buy at a high. You want to buy low, sell high. So you would like to see price come below 50 at least. So this is for today's trade or possible trade. 50% level, which coincides with the flip zone. Where previous resistance was broken. So we'd like to see price tap into that 50. There's a fair value gap just below. And there's another block there. So, of course, below that area we have marked, we have an idea of where price is coming. Price is coming. Once it gets into that fair value gap, then it is below 50%. It is now in a region, it can resume its move to the upside. Below that, there's another fair value gap. Below that order block there. And price is supposed to respect that fair value gap. Now, if price closes below that fair value gap, meaning if price closes below 125.60, I don't think that's too much of a correction, because there's a fair value gap at 12600. That fair value price back up. There's an order block below 12600. That order block is also tied to a flip zone, a previous resistance. To extend that order block, that red order block, to the left. No, the order block you drew below 120, exactly. If you extend it all the way to the, you will see that that's a break and retest now.
Yeah.
All the way. That's a resistance that was broken. Top price are many. 12600 should stop price, that fair value gap. That other block should stop price. And if it cannot stop price, that fair value, that flip zone should stop price. If price closes below that last level, and then that now becomes a good place for a sell to start, a proper sell, because then that yellow line, that 50% Fibonacci that we drew, is now a left shoulder, and back down is now a sweep of liquidity. And then what we expect price to come down. So that place is very crucial, between 12560. It's going to be crucial into this week as a region where there will be a tussle between buyers and sellers. So those are my thoughts. Analysis on I picked my GU sales from 1.27. Wow, fantastic. Did price get as high as that? Right at the top. What strategy did you use to pick it? Is it a box? Oh, there's a box. So from 5th of April. There's a box. Nice. Very well done. Very nicely done. So we all know where it's going then. We all know where it's going. Nice. So all these places we marked should be your first take profit, second take profit. All those places we marked. Fantastic trade. Fantastic trade, guys. All right, so we're all seeing this. One of the things we want to do is, once we master these technical setups, once we master this liquidity concept, a trader can now focus on mastering his psychology and getting big capital. First thing is to master your setups and know it, and then you master your psychology, because your setups will never change, and you master your fear and your greed, and then lastly, you try to start getting big capital. All right? So that's what there's not much to say. We want to use this opportunity to remind you to please prepare to come for the event. Please prepare to, please tell others about it. Doing our best to make sure it's a very excellent and a very, very memorable event for everyone. If you have suggestions on how we can improve the experience at the event, please feel free to let us know. By now, some of you should have started paying. Our early bird discount is supposed to be $100. It's supposed to be $100, but for the first 5 people that can pay, I think we can and do a 30% discount and let that slide at $70. Okay, is there opening for online connection for those outside Abuja? I cannot promise yet whether every session will be live streamed. But of course, the market color sessions will be live streamed because we always live stream that. Any session where we may be saying personal or sensitive things like our fireside chats and where we'll be disclosing some sensitive information, maybe about our personal lives, our personal journey, it may not be streamed. That's the honest truth. But every other thing that is purely just trading related, analysis related, strategy related, we'll do that. But when we start shifting to psychology, money management, customer relationship, investor relations, I don't think, I personally will not want it live streamed. Maybe the rest of the team can change my mind, but I personally will not want that live stream. Volunteers, thank you. We're having a volunteers meeting over the weekend into Monday. Our first volunteer, then we'll take it from there. So invite as many people as possible. It's going to be a fantastic time. Seasoned traders amongst us, come ready to share your experience. And let's take trading and this industry to the next level. All right. Thank you very much. Any specific question for me specifically? How do we volunteer, sir? Okay. Just send a WhatsApp message. We're having a very small team of volunteers, and you'll be added to the first Zoom session, Zoom meeting, and then our first physical meeting before the event at the event to be of service to our attendees. All right. Does VFT teach anything about COT? COT, not because we cannot, but because COT is a bit complex. But we have researched the concepts of send you pointers, send you links, send you online resources, tell you some of the people who are really good at COT analysis, and people like Bernard Kopulski. Some of you may know him. Online is the moment. He's doing something with FX Special also. So yes, we can trainings, but typically we don't see. COT is the Commitment of Traders report. It's released every Friday, and it comes out, I think, the Tuesday of the next day.
This is network is poor.
Link over.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. All right, everyone. As you've heard, we are preparing, putting in all our best just to host you at the Traders Bootcamp Abuja. So we would love to have you on board. Register, share the link with everyone. Be a publisher of this great news. Share the link with everyone you know on every of your social media handle. And at the same time, you can always join our TBC challenge, where we share content every day just to invite a lot of people for the event. We have the capacity to host you, so we want you to be there, and we have all it takes to give you for you to become profitable in the market from our end. So we can't wait to have you on board. Thank you so much. And by 3 p.m., we'll be coming again for the recap of the market color for New York session. Till we meet by then, cheers and God bless. Make sure you trade and use your proper risk management strategy. Cheers.